Before we begin, November is Native American Heritage Month, and I'd like to call your attention to my home, where I make these projects that I share with you all. It sits on land that indigenous peoples first called home. Indigenous, or Native Americans, have called Milwaukee home for thousands of years. Even though their history is what we learn most about, Native Americans still call Milwaukee and America home. We're going to use bright, bold colors to paint a lively animal that is important to you. How do animals play an important role in your life or in nature? Buffalo were very important to the indigenous peoples of the American plains. They provided food, clothing, and shelter, and were an important part of their spiritual life. Let's take a look at how two different artists from two different times pictured the buffalo. This painting by Fritz Scholder, titled Falling Buffalo, is from 1973. It shows a lively buffalo fighting to keep from falling. Its legs are active. The bright white dust cloud helps you see the movement of the buffalo as it kicks up dirt, trying to gain footing on the ground. Artist Richard Lawrence painted the buffalo in a very different way. In his painting Solitude, or Prairie Twilight, from 1904, the buffalo is still, or moving very slowly. The buffalo is alone in a large landscape, and the day is almost over. Now let's take a look at the two paintings, side by side. See how each painter used color in their paintings? They both used mostly blues, oranges, and purples. Lawrence used muted tones that capture the time of day. In this light, the lone buffalo helps tell the story of the loss of the wild buffalo, and of the Native American way of life on the plains. The artist painted this at a time when almost all of the wild buffalo in the United States were gone. They had been hunted for their hides, for sport, and to make room for settlers in their farms. Scholder's bold colors make his buffalo look energized and lively. Scholder called himself a colorist painter. Intense color is one of the most important features of his work. He drew attention to the colors he used by painting in a modern style, using large areas of flat color with few details. As a member of the Luiseño tribe of Native Americans, Scholder felt it was important to show Native American culture as living and changing, not gone or stuck in the past, just like the buffalo who is refusing to fall. For your painting, you'll need paint, brushes, a paint tray or paper plate, water cup with water, and a paper or board to paint on. I'm going to paint a bright bumblebee. Bees are important pollinators who are responsible for helping grow the plants that we all eat. I hope all the flowers I planted are helping them out. Make sure your animal is drawn large on your page, and keep your background simple, with no more than 1 or 2 colors. We want to use the same bold colors as Fritz Scholder, and we want to draw attention to those colors. The background is not as important as the big, bold colors. His colors look especially energetic because he paints complementary colors on top of and next to one another. Complementary colors are colors that are located across from one another on the color wheel. A color wheel is an artist's tool that shows all the different colors, their relationships, and how to mix them. Complementary colors, like the ones Scholder uses, the blue and the orange, are across from each other. There are also complementary colors like yellow and violet, and red and green, as well as everything in between. We do want to be sure to keep our complementary colors from mixing too much. When they mix, they make browns and grays. These will make our painting look more toned down. To keep your colors energetic, keep them from mixing on your paint tray and on your paper. Painting in a modern style lets you choose the colors. You don't have to use the actual color of your animal. I will paint my colors right next to each other and over the top of one another. As long as the first color is dry, this will be okay, or you'll end up with those browns and grays. You may even want to take a break from your painting to give your paints time to dry. Large, flat areas full of a single bright color will make your painting pop. Your paintings can be colorful without being blended. Have fun exploring all of the different colors that you can combine to make an energetic and lively animal. Here's how my bumblebee painting turned out. What colors will you use to make your colorist style animal? Share your creations with us.